Okay, welcome everybody. It is 11:35. Welcome to the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Environmental Facilities Corporation. You have a quorum. Connor, I'll take how about the roll?
Sure. Chair Stefanko.
Here.
Director Westerman.
Here.
Director Leary.
Here.
Director Corcoran.
Here.
Director Krasansky.
Here.
Director Zarowski.
Here.
And Director DeMarchi is absent, but we have a quorum.
Great. Okay, first item of business is approval of the draft minutes from August 14th, 2025. Adam, you can abstain, and Vita is obviously absent, so the other five of us can take a look at that. Any discussion of the minutes before we go for? No discussion. All right, I'll take a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Charlie.
I'll second.
James, thank you. No discussion, so all those in favor of approval of the draft minutes?
Aye.
Right. Unanimous with one abstention. I have nothing to report. As Francis mentioned, we're a couple days or 3 days away from fall, so get ready for that. Hope Madam President feels better, but she is next.
And stop at all stopped buses on the streets again, full buses.
Oh, yes.
Just wanted to report on August 27th, we had our press event to announce the 3.4 billion in financing that we issued last year. It was a great event. The 3.7 billion represents 28 local water infrastructure projects during state fiscal year 2025, which was a 55% increase in year-to-year funding and an estimated 30,000 jobs. So it was a great event. We did it right here on the Hudson, and we had all of our board members represented in Commissioner Lefton, Dr. McDonald, Secretary of State, Walter. Thank you. And I wish I could blame it on the cold. And a number of advocates. So it was a really great event, and it's great to celebrate what DOH and EFC have put out in funding. And then, of course, there's all the other water funding that we put out as well across the state. So it was a great event. Last Friday was the deadline for WIA and IMG applications. We received 354 applications, total applications, 195 for drinking water and 159 for clean water, which is about what we normally receive. Drinking water, we always get more applications for drinking water. Over 300 of those 354 applications were received in the last week. Another thing that is expected. And a big number of those were received on the last 2 days, last day. We're going to need to change the October board meeting date to October 30th. We wanted to keep it in October. There's just a bunch of scheduling conflicts with the prior date. So October 30th, we want to keep it in October so we can still get some projects to the November PACB meeting. So we'll be doing that. We will also, which is actually part of the conflict, the CIFA, Council of Infrastructure Financing Authorities workshop, fall workshop, will be held October 18th through the 22nd. So we will be there, and maybe we'll have some interesting news to report. So far, not a heck of a lot with respect to what's going on the federal side. And last but not least, we have a new Director of Public Finance that joined us on September 11th. And we're very excited to have him here. William Michael Danaher goes by Mike. He's sitting in between Connor and Albert. Raise your hand there. And he has over 10 years of experience at Fidelity, managing 35,000 SMAs, and went to Dartmouth. He grew up in this area, but he's been living in New Hampshire, so he moved back moved back home to join us. And he was, on the purchasing side, and now he'll be on the issuing side. So I guess he's excited to be doing that. So we're very excited to have him here. And again, it started last week. So you'll be seeing him around.
Welcome.
Great, thank you.
That's it.
No committees today?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Francis,
Yeah, I
go
just
ahead.
had just one quick question on the WIA grants in Madam President's report. Do we know how many were new applicants? Were there,
Not yet.
okay,
We're just still reviewing them and seeing which ones are complete, complete applications.
Gotcha.
So we can let you know that.
thank you.
Thanks, Francis. Like I said, no committees this month, no unfinished business yet, so we will move into our resolutions. Resolution number 1, Carter.
A resolution of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation making certain determinations and authorizing certain actions in connection with the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund and authorizing financial assistance payments to certain municipalities to fund eligible drinking water projects from funds appropriated for water infrastructure improvement projects.
Great, thank you. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Christine. James, thank you for the second. David Phillips will present.
Okay, thank you. There's 9 drinking water projects before the board today. First one is for the Albertson Water District in Nassau County. This is for an IIJA EC grant. It's for a new granular activated carbon or GAC treatment system to remove PFAS from existing well number 1. Second project is for the town of Cape Vincent in Jefferson County. This is for a WIA grant. It's for the creation of the new water district number 7. The work includes installation of 29,000 linear feet of new water mains, as well as valves, hydrants, and service meters. The project will extend public water to serve 235 mostly residential properties that currently rely on private wells, and the source will be through a connection to the village of Cape Vincent. Next is the town of Crown Point in Essex County. This is a long-term interest-free financing. The project included replacement of existing aged water mains, hydrants, valves, and service meters. Also included improvements to 2 existing wells that had been out of service. The work will bring them back into compliance with current standards so they can be placed back into service as redundant sources. Next is the village of Greenwich in Washington County. This is an extension of a short-term interest-free financing. It's a time extension to September 2028. It's needed in order to allow the village and their engineer to better manage this project, which contains multiple construction contracts. The work includes upgrades to existing wells, replacement of aged and small diameter water mains and appurtenances, replacement of a transmission main, and a new manganese removal system at their existing treatment plant. The next is the Jericho Water District in Nassau County. This is for an IIJA EC grant. This is a new GAC treatment system to remove PFOA from their existing well number 23. Next is the town of Pembroke in Genesee County. This will be receiving a WIA grant. This is for creation of the new water district number 4. Work includes installation of 110,000 linear feet of new water mains, as well as hydrants, valves, and service meters. The water will be provided by connection to the Monroe County Water Authority. And this project will provide public water to serve 274 residential properties and 28 commercial users that currently rely on insufficient private wells. Next is the city of Schenectady, Schenectady County. It's for a WIA grant and a short-term market rate financing. The work includes improvements at the city's well source and treatment plant site. The work includes upgrades to piping throughout the site. It includes a new fluoride treatment system to replace an existing aged system. It includes installation of 3 new production wells to replace some existing wells and to also add new source redundancy. And it includes electrical improvements throughout the site. Next is the city of Syracuse, Onondaga County. This is an IIJA lead service line replacement project, so it's receiving an IIJA lead service line grant, as well as interest-free financing, and also New York State LIFT grant. So this project includes replacement of almost 2,800 lead service lines throughout the city of Syracuse. And finally, we have the project for the village of Weedsport in Cayuga County. This is for a WIA grant and a short-term market rate financing. The main part of this project is replacement of 47,000 linear feet of severely aged and deteriorated water mains throughout the system. Also, replacement of hydrants, valves, and service meters. This will significantly improve pressure and flow throughout the system. The project also includes a new emergency connection to the Cayuga County transmission main for redundancy. And it also includes a new mixing system in their existing storage tank to address disinfection byproduct issues. That's it. Any questions?
I'm just interested in the Syracuse, the lead service line replacement, just maybe real general. So, 2,790 lines, $24 million total, $8,600 line. I guess I'm wondering, do I have it right? Sort of like we're paying for all of it, like homeowners pay for nothing. We just go in there, it's like one contractor.
Want me to take that?
Sorry? Yeah, I'd love to just know, like, do I have the basics right? Like, we identify or somebody identifies who needs to have the line replaced. It's like, okay, this is what the total cost is. There's a little municipal, the rest is through us, paying for all of it. Is that sort of basically right so far?
So the federal Infrastructure Improvement and Jobs Act requires that the entire service line be replaced, both the municipality owned, the public water system owned, and the homeowner owned. The entire thing has to be replaced. So yes, it does include the entire thing. And the lead and copper rule improvements requires that all lead service lines be replaced by 2037. Does that answer your questions?
Yeah, and then like to a certain point, and the homeowner, is it one of those things where, well, sorry, your house, you have to take care of that? I mean, is it so straightforward that it just gets done? We tell people when we're gonna be on the street, the whole street or most of the streets done same time. I guess I'm just wondering, is there any cost to homeowners in some cases? Is this the total bill? That's what I'm wondering.
I believe the goal is to not charge homeowners for it.
I think it's really not any different than if a water main was replaced on your street, they wouldn't come and have you pay for it. It's covered by the water system. So yeah, your cost may increase slightly because you're part of the bigger water system. But yeah, the idea is the whole service is replaced at no specific cost to each property owner.
So if I have lead in my house,
That's different.
then it's just like, sorry, that's your problem.
There's probably a nicer way to say that, but
Wondering, that's all. Again,
Yeah.
depending on the age of the house, the structure.
right.
It's
Yeah,
just
it'd be
wondering.
after fixtures or something once it hits the,
Your side of the meter.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking. Okay.
yeah, and certainly the lift grants, since that's the purpose of those, right? To make up the difference between what the federal grants didn't cover.
Yep,
So they will take out a loan in the first instance, and then the state grant will pay that back.
right, saw that.
Yeah, because it needs to be put in a certain percentage of the lift funding has to be.
Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions? Right, thanks, Dave. All those in favor of ID number 1? Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
unanimous. ID number 2.
Resolution of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation making certain determinations and authorizing certain actions in connection with the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, and authorizing financial assistance payments to certain municipalities to fund eligible clean water projects from funds appropriated for clean water infrastructure projects.
Could I have a motion and a second, please? Thank you, Francis.
I'll second.
James, thank you very much. Bill Brazil will present.
Hey, good morning. We have 8 projects before the board today for approval. Start with 2 long-term financings. The first for the village of Clayton in Jefferson County. Village recently undertook a project to increase the permitted flow of their treatment plant from 1.1 to 2.0 million gallons per day. They also increased the capacity of 2 major pump stations, the goal of eliminating sanitary sewer overflows to the St. Lawrence River, and installed parallel force mains to increase capacity. And at the treatment plant, they constructed a new side stream process to treat flows in excess of the permitted flows, so not discharging untreated wastewater to the river. Critical controls and emergency power at the pump station were also elevated for flood resiliency efforts. Construction was completed in 2024 on this project, in summer of 2024. Next, we have long-term financing for the village of Corfu in Genesee County. Village has a treatment plant permitted for 135,000 gallons per day. DEC modified their speedies permit to require disinfection, and they constructed facilities for that. The village of Corfu's treatment plant is immediately adjacent to the town of Pembroke's treatment plant, and the 2 facilities discharge through the same outfall. The UV disinfection system treats the flow from both treatment plants. Construction on this project started back in 2023 and is just wrapping up, officially be completed next spring. Next, we have a short-term financing for the village of Depew in Erie County. Depew has a sanitary sewer collection system that discharges to Buffalo Sewer Authority's sewer system. They have excessive I&I, or inflow and infiltration, and they have 8 sanitary sewer overflows that overflow to Cayuga and Skagit Creeks during wet weather events. The village has an 11-phase program through their consent order with DEC to address the SSOs in the collection system. This project is for phase 8, sewer shed number 2, and includes the lining of approximately 6,400 linear feet of sewer main, rehabilitation of 38 manholes, 11 spot repairs, and 110 feet of new sewer. Construction is expected to start in October and be complete in the spring of 2026. Next, we have a IJA Emerging Contaminant Grant Project for the town of Harrietstown in Franklin County. This is our second IJA Clean Water Emerging Contaminants Grant. The town of Harrietstown owns the Adirondack Regional Airport, which has been utilized as a public airport since 1950. The site has PFAS contamination from previous use of firefighting foam. The site characterization report was prepared in 2019, and in 2020, DEC designated the site as a Class 2 inactive hazardous waste disposal site through the state Superfund program. DEC later issued a consent order requiring further investigations, and this grant, $1.3 million grant, will fund the development of a remedial investigation report. From that report, a feasibility study will be developed, and ultimately DEC will issue a record of decision to define the long-term remediation measures necessary for the site. Construction on the remedial investigation work is expected to start this fall and be complete by the end of 2026. Next, we have an amendment to add a previously awarded WIA grant and additional loan dollars to the project in the city of Hornell. Hornell has a 4 million gallon per day treatment plant that discharges to the Canasteo River. In 2018, DEC modified the speedies permit to add disinfection. in addition to adding disinfection, the city is also upgrading other equipment at the treatment plant that is in need of replacement. Project started construction in 2022 and is expected to be completed later this year, in November of 2025. Next, we have a short-term financing for the city of Hudson in Columbia County. The city has a 2.8 million gallon per day treatment plant that uses about 2.33 million gallons each day. However, they have a significant wet weather issue with their collection system. This is the first phase of a three-phase project to completely separate the city's combined sewers and allow for the eventual decommissioning of the city's 8 combined sewer overflows. This financing is for about $66 million. It includes $25 million in IJA grant and $14 million WIA grant. The collection system was divided into 8 project areas. Phase 1 includes the removal of approximately 37,000 linear feet of combined sewer in 3 of the 8 project areas. The combined sewer will be replaced with about 33,000 linear feet of sanitary sewers and 27,000 linear feet of storm sewers. Project will also include installation of CSO flow monitors to monitor the volume and frequency of overflows to support eventual closure of the CSO outfalls. And this will improve water quality in the Hudson River. Construction is expected to start in July of 2026 and be complete by July of 2029. Next, we have a short-term financing for the city of Peekskill in Westchester County. The city's sanitary sewer collection system connects to Westchester County's 10 million gallon per day Peekskill wastewater treatment plant. The city is proposing improvements to their sewer infrastructure that's located within the 100-year flood zone to make it more resilient and protect against inflow and infiltration. This will be about 625 linear feet of new gravity sewer, 45 precast manholes, 17,000 linear feet of cured in place pipelining, 5,700 linear feet of storm sewers, and they're going to combine 2 pump stations into 1 new expanded riverfront green pump station that will be installed at a higher elevation to be outside the 100-year flood elevation, including any projected sea level rise in the area. Work of this project will reduce inflow and infiltration in the collection system and reduce flooding of the pump stations. And construction is expected to start in the spring of 2026 and be completed in the summer of 2027. And then finally, we have a maturity extension for the village of Sloan in Erie County. Like the village of Depew that I talked about a few minutes ago, Sloan has a sanitary sewer collection system that discharges to Buffalo Sewer Authority. And they also have excessive inflow and infiltration and sanitary sewer overflows, in this case to the Buffalo River. The village has a consent order from DEC requiring a village-wide corrective action plan to address the sanitary sewer overflows. This particular project includes lining approximately 37,000 linear feet of sewer main, separating approximately 3,200 linear feet of combined sewer, and about 6,500 linear feet of sewer line replacement. Also going to rehabilitate 210 manholes. This project was supported by engineering planning grants from 2015 and 2016. The extension was requested by the village to allow them to wrap up construction. Construction started on some of the early work in 2021 and will be complete in August of 2027. Are there any questions?
I'll make an observation. I think, you recounted last year of the jobs and all the projects. Some of these you could do like, combined overflow. This project completed and prevented this much, overflow into that river or some measure of the environmental benefit. Right? You capture somehow, but there's so much environmental benefit from these projects. It's great.
Yeah, we've actually been talking about that, and we've spoken to Commissioner Lupton as well about,
Yeah,
yeah. about-
some measures, that's great, awesome. Thanks.
Anything else for Bill? Okay, all those in favor of item number 2?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
unanimous. Item number 3.
A resolution of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation authorizing the president of the corporation or her designee to enter into a contract for asset management software services and to utilize certain funds for the purchase of such services.
Connor, could I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Christine.
I'll second.
Second.
Charlie? And is it Francis there too a little bit, or
Sure.
Adam? Maybe it was Adam. Okay. Maureen McGrath will present.
Thanks, Jeff. Before you today is a request to approve the procurement of IBM Maximo Application Suite as a Service software. And current agreement will expire on December 23rd of this year. And the current software is no longer being supported. So to maintain access to the software, EFC issued a request for quotes for a 5-year contract for the upgraded version of the Maximo application to continue this critical service because it houses a significant volume of infrastructure data and supports the ongoing asset management pilot program phase 2. The RFQ was issued on May 30th through the OGS IT umbrella centralized contract. 2 quotes were received and the estimated contract amount is $695,000. The software is a key component of the joint asset management program with DEC that has assisted 35 municipalities manage infrastructure assets across 42 wastewater systems. The second phase will continue until at least October of 2026. And this software is critical to house data, track asset risk, and proactive replacement. I'll take any questions.
No questions. Appreciation from my agency for your understanding and cooperation with this. Greatly appreciated from me personally. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor of ID number 3? Aye.
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 Unanimous. That is all of our resolutions. A short agenda today. Any new business anyone would like to raise?
I just wanted to say, appreciate whoever's putting it together, all the links to all the different articles at the end of the materials. It's some of it catches your eye and it's some good reading. So I appreciate the exposure to what's going on across the state and the country in our wheelhouse. So thanks for that.
There's a lot there, but as you
A
said.
lot
you
there.
can skip through and see what draws your attention. Sheila puts that together for us. Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila.
Sheila.
Yeah.
And she loves doing it.
We get it, we get it every day. Everyone, all the staff gets it, so we know what's going on. It's really interesting because sometimes you'll read about, someone will read about a project and they'll figure out why the community maybe hasn't called them back in however long because they're embroiled in whatever mess at the local level. So, and then also, like you said, knowing what's going on at the national level or in other states, so.
Yeah,
I think it's
thank
important
you.
that everybody sees it.
Appreciate it. Okay. Our next meeting, as Madam President mentioned, was moved to October 30th at 11:30, Thursday, October 30th. I'll take a motion in a second to adjourn.
Sadly, I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Got it, Francis. Thank you. How about a second?
I'll
No one
second.
wants to leave.
James actually said the words. James. Okay, all those in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Have a great day, all.
Thanks all.